What is going on, everybody? It's me, Severin7, and today I've got dragons for you. We're going to be playing Mardu Dragons. And here it is. This deck is super awesome and fun. It was inspired by Narrow Heart of the Storm, which is a 4-mana 4/5 with flying that says if a creature you control that entered this turn would deal damage, it deals twice that much damage instead. Now, when this card was printed, it wasn't super exciting. There wasn't really a whole lot of things to do with it, but Nova Hellkite kind of changes that a little bit, because this 5-mana 4/5 with flying and haste that deals a damage when it enters to a creature our opponent controls can be warped for 3 mana, making a really sweet curve of Sarkhan Dragon Ascendant, which is a 2/2 that lets us behold a dragon when it enters and give us a treasure if we do so. And he gets a counter every time a dragon enters the battlefield, gains flying, and becomes a dragon himself, which is pretty sweet. So we play Sarkhan, we get a treasure by revealing a Nova Hellkite. On the following turn, we warp a Nova Hellkite, keeping a treasure up for Restoration Magic or Caustic Exile, growing the Sarkhan into a 3/3 with flying, smacking our opponent for 7 damage in the air, and as well as possibly removing something like a Llanowar Elf or a Spyglass Iron or something out of the way. And then following that turn up, we play Narrow Heart of the Storm on turn 4, still having mana back up for our 1 mana removals or protections, turning Sarkhan into a 4/4 flyer, getting in there, forcing our opponent to try to figure out what to remove. And then if we get to turn 5, we have Nova Hellkite, which will deal 2 damage when it enters, as long as Narrow Heart of the Storm is on the battlefield. And it will also deal 8 damage to their face because it entered this turn, so it will deal 8 instead of 4. Same thing with Dragonhawk Fate's Tempest. This is a 5/5 flyer for 5 that says when it enters or attacks, exile the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of creatures you control with power 4 or greater. We can play those cards until our next end step, and then the beginning of our next end step, Dragonhawk deals 2 damage to each opponent for each of those cards that are still exiled. So that counts as during our turn that it came into play for Narrow. So when we play Narrow, when we play Dragonhawk, if we've got nothing else on the battlefield, that's still 8 damage just from the Dragonhawk trigger alone, even if we don't get any damage in from attacking with Narrow for some reason. As far as other dragons we're playing, most of our other dragons are utility dragons. We've got Scavenger Regent to help us clear the board, as well as just being a 4-power dragon. We've got Purging Stormbrood, which can help protect our stuff with the Omen side that gives +2/+2 lifelink and hexproof. The lifelink can also help us eke out games against aggro decks where we were really low on life and all of a sudden we've got a ton of life. And removing counters from everything as the ETB for the second half of this can actually be really relevant against the mono green landfall decks. We can remove all the counters from a Hydra that would have been lethal the next turn, stuff like that. So there are fringe cases where the ETB of this is relevant. We've also got Purging Twin Maw Stormbrood that can deal 5 damage to something without flying and gain us some life in the late game, as well as Magmatic Hellkite as just a solid 4-drop that can remove some problematic lands, as well as triggering crimes for Magda. Most of our deck can trigger crime for Magda. Making treasures with Magda and Sarkhan can help us get free 4/4 dragons, because Magda says whenever you commit a crime, create a tap treasure token and then sacrifice 3 treasures. We get a 4/4 red Scorpion Dragon with haste. We also have a lot of removal on the list and 3 Caustic Exhales. Battle Menu is sort of removal in the fact that it can destroy a larger creature, but it can also create a creature or protect something of ours, gain us some life. We've got 3 Bitter Triumphs in the list. Scavenger Regent, obviously sort of a board wipe removal, and then Twin Maw Stormbrood and Virtue of Persistence, which this card is very good in this deck because it can gain us some life and get rid of a problematic threat early, while also reanimating our sweet threats later in the game. We've also got 2 copies of Restoration Magic in the list just to help as a non-green way to give something we control hexproof and indestructible, and it can technically protect our entire board later in the game if we have enough mana for it. From a board clear, and it's just a sweet 1-drop in my opinion that pairs well with getting the treasures from Sarkhan in that dream curve that I mentioned of Sarkhan into Nova into Narrow into Nova again. In that situation, we always have a treasure up for Restoration Magic to protect, and the deck is just super sweet. It's really, really fun, and I'm having a blast with it. We've played 15 games. We're going to put it through 15 more and see where we end up. If you like this deck, you think it's cool, and you enjoy the gameplay, please take a quick moment to hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you find value in the content, and help me get to my goal of 2,000 subscribers. Let's get into the games. Alright, Eternal Winter. Playing somebody in Mythic, alright. There's not be enough diamond friends on right now. We have black-white mana. This is risky, but we do have removal. I'm gonna take a risk here. and keep just because we have good removal. In general, you probably mulligan this hand. For those of you watching, if you decide to play this deck, probably want to mulligan this hand. And rewarded. Not always going to happen that way, but thankfully it did. Mono red from the looks of it. Let's see what they're doing. Behold! Get in there for 4. Mountain for the opponent. And ball lightning. Alright. That is a thing that they can cast with their mana. We don't technically have an instant speed answer to that right now. Challenger, okay. Lightning strike our face, sure. Can't believe I'm actually having to worry about ball lightning right now. Demand answer, sure. Land. Another demand answers. This card's E2 Lava Mancer. I'm gonna play the Stormbird here and gain some life. 5 life feels good. And a blocker. The ball lightnings me, we go to 9, but then we've got decent removal from there. Alright. That's damage. Free damage not going to my face. And the show off that I can get rid of. I'm just gonna go ahead and play Hellkite here. I don't think he can kill me with 1 card. It's a land. Beautiful. This gives us a way we can gain some life with Purging Stormbird too. And that should do it. GG. We did actually have lethal that turn by purging Stormbrooding and Dalkovan Encampment too to deal the 8 damage, so we did actually have a way to kill him that turn. GG. I have found an opponent named Ray Kiro. Let us do battle. To battle! Maybe not with this hand. Too much sorcery speed removal. This is better. Much as I don't want to, we put back Firehawk or Dragonhawk. Let's play Verge so that we have turn 1 removal. Oh god, our opponent's playing 192 cards. You think we can win? God, what is it? What kind of pile is this? Probably control, right? Just all removal and Field of Ruin. Palladium Mirror. Is this in standard right now? No way. Did I queue up wrong again? Not gonna have him ramping by 2. Is this really in standard right now? There's no way. Did I queue up in the wrong? And yeah, this isn't standard. What am I playing? How did I get in not standard? How does this keep happening? This is okay. This is the second time in recent history, including my stream last night, where I didn't change anything. I didn't click anything to change the format that I was playing. And somehow I ended up in timeless, I guess? Are we gonna win a game of timeless? He's got 6 mana. He's playing Planeswalkers. Okay, Ashiok I don't think saves him here.
Listen to your pain. It was grand.
That's not good enough.
Surrender every morsel of fear.
Yeah, I mean, I just play Narrow and then attack him for 5. And then deal the other 4 off of the Dragonhawk trigger. Did we just beat it? I mean, I know he didn't do a whole lot, and this wasn't a good timeless deck, but we won a match in timeless, so that's saying something, right? Slinky Dog. This looks good. Maybe not. I was wrong. Okay, I guess we're putting Cavern on human. Let's get down Verge on the off chance we draw a shock. That is not a shock. Ride the shoe puff. Ride the shoe puff. I think I will. I think I will ride the shoe puff. Right into your face. There's a Tifa. And the land. Alright, well, we gotta respect that he might have... Okay, well, I guess we can Bitter Triumph it now. I should have played the Verge. What am I doing? Get in there with the region. Very unlucky right now that we're not fighting any of our 8 shocks. Bristly Bill, sure. And a Chocobo. And a land drop. Double land drop. Joy. Can't cast the Magmatic Hellkite anyway. Thanks to our poor luck. We're just gonna have to hope we can survive long enough to kill him in the air. He's definitely got a lot going for him right now. Ordeal of Nile is ridiculous. But I mean, he's wasting all his landfall triggers at this point, right? So... Indestructible, gain some life. Take 7, go down to 13. I think we go like this. It's not the flashiest way, but if he draws a land here and animates Rides the Shoe Puff, then we lose. We can hope that he just has like an Evolving Wilds where it's not untapped. And then we can just block with Sarkin and probably win. Otherwise, we can probably get in there. Okay. He had the land. So we'll see if he does even if he fights something, I think we're okay. We have to double block here because he can double the counters. So it's going to be a matter of, can he produce 2 blockers here? Or remove our Scavenger Regent. If he just animates Ride the Shoe Puff, we win. We did it. We did it. Get wrecked. That was a tough game, and we were screwed on land almost the entire game. We did not have the colors we needed. Like, we still won. GG. Tezzeret 890. All right. I can get behind this. It's another mono green deck. And we unfortunately absolutely cannot afford to play Magda here, can we? I want to play Magda, but he could literally kill us on turn 3 with Tifa, so can't be having that. Alright, let's play Magda. Behold! I mean, if he uses his... That's better than him using it on a Tifa. All right. Pew! Bristly Bill. Ordeal of Nylea, sure. Bunch of lands. Opponent gets in there for 2, sure. See if he's willing to block here. He is not. Fairly confident that he doesn't have what he needs to kill me here. Okay. Now we need an untapped land, unfortunately. That is going to be a really big Mossborn Hydra. No blocks. All right, untapped land, one time. Oh, my life. It's not good enough. We could have gotten really cheeky and snatched everything off of the Hydra with this, but it's just not enough. That's my fault. I probably shouldn't have sacked the treasures. I maybe should have sequenced my turns differently. I'm trying to see if there's any chance I get out of this. There's a small chance he doesn't block. As I thought. Alright, I'll let them attack. That was probably just poor sequencing on my part. There was probably a way I could have won that if I had played differently, so I will admit that I lost that game because of making mistakes with how I used my treasures, I think. Alright, let's try not to mess up this time. Wetter. Let's go. This is a little sketchy, but we've got a lot of removal, so I'm gonna go for it. Hopefully we find some lands. Find land, but not the one I was hoping for. Let's find some red mana. Make a knight. I'm sure it doesn't live, but we're gonna make it anyway. I wish I had a red mana, but I do not. I do have removal for everything he plays. Opponent is stuck on lands. Okay, I have all the removal and not really any threats. So both of us are getting screwed. Me on lands and colors now, and our opponent just on lands in general. Long River Lurkers, so they're not playing traditional Dimir mid-range. Unholy Annex, okay. Well, thankfully, because of how much removal we have, that will help us kill them. Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon! Let's get down Narav. If they spend their turn removing Narav, they're probably not getting a demon down for the chamber. If they get a demon down for the chamber, we can Nova Hellkite, Caustic Exhale, possibly. Bitter, if we draw another untapped source, we can Bitter Triumph and Nova Hellkite. He shot the sheriff! How rude. Okay, well, I'm definitely going to Nova Hellkite, because this is lethal if he can't produce a demon this turn, so... Actually, even if he can produce a demon, it's lethal. If I hadn't drawn the untapped land, I would have had to wait another turn, but... Oh, does he have 2 Rock Earth Racksashes? No way. You have a counter spell? Okay, we still have lethal. We still have lethal because he doesn't have a way to stop another Nova Hellkite. GG. I'm ready. It's Pokoske. Let's do it to it. This looks fine to me. I think I'm gonna play it tapped. Our opponent's playing a lot of red things, so maybe that's a mistake, but... We'll pay 1. No sense in revealing information that we don't have to. Ow. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Final Fantasy X battle music. Can't get it out of my head. Every time I play battle menu, that's all I think of. I know this is probably not the Final Fantasy this is referring to. Well, it's definitely not the Final Fantasy that's referring to. But that's always what comes to my brain. What does our opponent have? I will not risk losing my narrative to stop 2 damage. No, I will not. Is he gonna burn 2 burn spells on it? That would suck. Leave my narrative alone. I need to switch this art. If I was doing this live, I would ask you guys to remind me to switch it. Wow, okay. That was horrendously inefficient. What am I doing? I keep forgetting battle menu has a toughness booster. Oh my god, because I never use that mode. I never ever use it. I'm so mad at myself. I could have saved my narrow. I'm such an idiot. I'm not an idiot, but that was a big mistake. Burst lightning. I mean, I'll take the 4. Caveron Harrier. Screaming Nemesis. Take 5, go to 7. We're in trouble. Another Dragon Hawk is definitely not the answer. Kind of hoping he animates the Soulstone Sanctuary here, because then we can clean everything up with the Regent, maybe. Like, we're definitely still going to have to take the Nemesis. But we can block the Soulstone Sanctuary. He may just attack with the Nemesis. In which case, I'll... No, because if I do this, then I can't gain life. And I do have ways to gain life in the deck. So let's not screw that up. That is technically a dragon. Oh, that sucks. Okay, well, I guess that plan doesn't work then. That helps. That helps a lot. Okay, I'm feeling confident that we can win now. Woo! Talk about getting saved by the Dragonhawk. I almost forgot Soulstone Sanctuary was a dragon technically, and that wasn't going to work, and I'm really, really glad that I remembered. You can give that haste, that's irrelevant. He can't kill us anymore, that's all that matters. Even that's 4, 7, 10. And I can definitely block that at least. And then just win on the backswing. GG! Woo! That was close. We cut it real close there. Got him though. We're entering the match. Entering the match against Sam. What up, Sam? Sam I am. Do you like green eggs and ham? Oh. Problemo. Alright. Let's see how badly this gets out of hand. Okay. That could have been a lot worse. Alright, well, I'm going to take a risk here. Does he have a lightning strike? Okay. All right. I need land. Thankfully, I have stuff to do if I don't find land. Opponent is also missing a land drop here. That is not a land. So we are going to Virtue of Persistence and hope that sticks. Looks like he's got protection for it. All right. Opponent finds another might. All right. Are we just dead? That is a lot of damage. We're at 2. There's the land a turn freaking too late. What do I do? Pray that he doesn't have a way to deal 1 damage to me, I guess. We both got land screwed, but he got the better end of it. I don't know what to do. I think we play narrative here. Shouldn't have an efficient way to remove this. Show off. Oh, okay. Ha, it doesn't matter because I'm at 1. I'm an idiot. Oh gosh. That was a dumb game, but oh well. GG. All right, let's have a game where we don't get 16'd by 2 1-drops when neither of us are drawing lands. This looks great. Like, granted, I'm sure the game would have gone much worse if he had also not been getting land screwed, but if we had not been getting land screwed, we would have had removal every turn. I don't think we're going to have that issue with this game, though. Cecil Dark Knight. He's got removal, he's got removal. And I'll just remove the Cecil. I don't really mind Cecil too much because until he gets to 10 health, like, it's basically killing him too. So it's kind of helping us. And to me, I treat life as a resource. So if he's willing to just give up his resources while he's damaging me, then it's worth it. Swamp. No way he doesn't have a removal over here, right? I'm trying to figure out why he's thinking so hard about it. Maybe because I have a treasure, so he's trying to figure out what I have. I will gladly take the damage, though. If he doesn't have removal for Sarkin, then that's great for us. And I will happily play a Nova Hellkite next turn and smash his face. And then we can just remove the Cecil after it flips. Bat. Well, he absolutely has to take Nova Hellkite. It's his only option. Yeah. Literally only option there. I'm definitely going to go ahead and get in for 2. Maybe I should have removed the bat before he untapped. I mean, honestly, I'm just going to let the bat happen and then see if he casts something. He's down to 13. Looks like he's going to remove Sarkin this turn, maybe. If he counters this, it's so bad for me. I should have done this while he was tapped out. Oh, okay, thank goodness. I think I'm gonna get Narev down, since I don't really have a target for the Hellkite damage. And I'd rather him remove Narev. I need to change this art. I hate that they mess up this frame and it's not like showing. Blood Pitch Drowner. Alright. Well, that gives me a good target for Nova Hellkite next turn. Does he have removal for the Narev? He does. Okay. It's not the end of the world. We're still doing okay. Opponent gets in for 4. He's gonna flip his Cecil. We're down to 8. And he is going to cycle away. That's annoying. That is annoying. Because now if he draws an untapped land, I mean, we definitely have to do this. Keep him from getting it with the bat. But we're definitely in some trouble because he can animate. If he draws an untapped land, animate Soulstone Sanctuary. We're down. No, because it's still 3-turn clock that way. That does nothing. I'm so glad that we made that call. No, he's probably got removal. Or not. All right. Whew. We ran him out of resources. GG. Demir out of here. All right, and we're back for the post-game wrap. So, 30 games, 60%, nothing too crazy, but I definitely feel like I lost a few of those games purely on user error, where I had lethal and I missed it, or I made a mistake that cost me the game where I would have won otherwise. Just one thing to keep in mind when I play these decks is that I play 30 games with them. I'm a content creator, so I'm testing and brewing and playing things constantly. So I don't have a ton of time. So it's not like I play the deck and fiddle with it and then play 30 games. Like, I just play 30 games with it. So I'm learning the deck as I play it, even when I brew it. Now, being the brewer, that helps, you know, me understand the deck's function a lot better than somebody just picking up my deck and trying it out. You know, I'm going to have a better advantage than someone just trying a deck that they didn't build out. But I am learning it. So I definitely made some mistakes. And I think even in some of the recordings, I admitted that there were games where I didn't sequence properly and it cost me a game where I easily should have won. So the win rate should be probably a little bit better. Our on the draw win rate was pretty bad, 42%, but I don't quite know why, because we have a lot of removal. We have a lot of very efficient, cheap removal and a decent amount of cheap threats. So I don't know, maybe I should just be playing a few more cheap cards, you know, maybe less removal. Maybe I have too much removal in the deck and I need to be leaning more in a mid-rangey way. But on the play, 72%, very, very strong on the play win percentage there. And I mean, if you look at the meta matches, like, you know, we did all right against Demir, all right against Mono Green, all right against the Orzhov, crushed Boros, Rakdos. These were all reanimator decks. Then Blue White Control or Synthesizer and Esper Pixie we did all right against. We beat all the mono red, so it's very good against aggro. So if you're finding yourself in a position where you're facing a lot of aggro, this is a great deck for it, because we do have a ton of removal. So it's possible that the deck needs to be tweaked a little bit, maybe just a little less removal. Maybe I need to take out like the battle menus and the restoration magics. Maybe those are a little too cute, and add like lightning helixes or a couple more Magdas, or I mean even the Taurian Maulers that I've been seeing in the mono red dragons lists might not be terrible. But or maybe like Screaming Nemesis, even though it's not a dragon, you know, that could definitely help the deck. But I really like this deck a lot. I think it has a lot of potential. I would love to know how you would make changes, what things you might change based on what you saw in the gameplay and what you see here. I'm always open to suggestions. Speaking of suggestions, if you'd like to speak to me directly about any of the decks that I play, make sure you hit that Discord link in the description. Join the Sev Squad Discord. You don't have to be a member to join that. It's a great way to get in touch with me. And as always, the deck list to this is in the Mox field in the description. So please make sure you click on that. And if you like this video, make sure that you give me a like and a follow over there on Moxfield. Helps me out greatly. And I appreciate you guys all being here. I had a blast playing this for you, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. I hope you'll take a quick moment to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Every single one of those counts to my goal of 2,000 subscribers. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you in the next one.